Idology is excited to welcome Jessica Sanchez to the house today. For Top 6 Week, you tackled Bohemian Rhapsody. I've got to ask you about condensing a song like that into 90 seconds.
You have to sing the whole song, or else it's just
Snippets
it's not real.
Yeah.
That was one thing that kind of got me. I sang a big song, a very huge hit, and it wasn't even the hit.
I liked that performance, though. I thought where you rocked out, you rocked out.
So you think you can stop me and spit in my eye?
I didn't quite understand the judges' feedback that week.
I thought you were going to be running around and we're going to get a little bit of hair throwing.
I was totally out of it, and everything has been such a blur that I'm like, I go on stage and I'm like, thank you. I literally have to watch back my performances and be like, oh, okay, that's what they said.
I've got to ask you, too, about heels. To me, I think female contestants on Idol, sometimes the heels you're wearing concern me. They almost look like you could die if you take a wrong step. And does that make it harder for you to perform?
Sometimes I can wear really tall heels and I can just dance my booty off. But sometimes I can wear really short heels and fall on my face. Yeah, I mean, definitely if I wore tennis shoes for each performance, I would, be able to run around and do jumping jacks and everything, but trying to get the whole big picture.
While we're talking about fashion, we have to talk about Proud Mary Gate and the dress.
That dress was too mature for her.
Seeing it on the big monitor coming from Jimmy, it was weird, but I understand where they were coming from. It was a lot in that performance. I had the tiny dress, and I had the heels, and I had the dancing and the big hair. And everything was big about it, and I think that's what the whole thing was about. I feel like if I wore that dress for any other song, for a slow song, it really wouldn't matter.
You also had You Are So Beautiful that week, which I think might have been your best competitive moment on the show.
My mom is always there to help me, so she, she suggests songs to me, and she suggested that song to me, and I was like, okay, let's try it. And that's what I did, and I picked the song, and Michael O played it on the piano for me, and we just went from there, and I just sang it the way that I wanted to sing it.
You are so beautiful.
You had that one note where you held it and then hit that little vibrato on the end, which Melinda Doolittle and I were talking about it. She was saying that's really hard to do that and be able to hold that note and hit it correctly.
Definitely my vibrato is a bit too much sometimes, and I understand that, and that's what I was trying to control, because the first time I sang that, my vibrato was like it was when I sang I Will Always Love You. It was just crazy out there, and I've been working on that a lot. It was difficult, but I got it out there, so I'm glad everybody noticed that.
Around that point in the season, Jimmy was also talking about,
I'm going to suggest to her that we move to songs that are more appropriate for her age.
Yeah.
Then you did Steal Away, which is a little bit racy.
I know it's late, but don't make me wait.
I don't really understand the whole big thing about lyrics and stuff, especially if there's somebody else's.
Right.
It's not my song. I'm just covering the song on the show.
Come on, let's do it.
There's no songs that a 16-year-old can sing right now. A lot of songs on the radio are talking about more things than what we're singing on the show.
I'm gonna keep it right here, baby.
But, I feel like if I can pull it off and I can make it believable that I have been through that, then I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stay 16 forever.
We've also got to talk about And I Am Telling You. This was a week where we had Philip doing Volcano, and then we had Joshua doing It's a Man's World. A lot of big moments. Was that in the back of your mind as now you know you're going last? Those two things have happened before you. Did that up the bar, like I've got to kill it out there?
Oh yeah, no, I was ready to pee my pants. I was last and I was backstage and I was like, I am ruined. But before I sang, the package was playing.
I will remember this moment.
And I was tearing up a little bit to sing to the judges and telling them, I'm not going. Telling America, I'm not going.
There's no way I
You could see to my body language, even though I was standing there, that I wanted to punch somebody.
will. You can say what you want, I'm not walking out.
Did you plan to only stand in one spot and not move?
They give us suggestions on where to stage us and everything, and that's where the performance stuff comes out. Definitely, if it was, my choice, I would not have just stood there. I would have been moving around, and I would have maybe even went up to the judges and been like, and you, and you.
Top 3 week. I like to call it the Jessica Sanchez sabotage hour. I did not like the songs that were chosen for you. My All, you finish singing it, and then the judges are like,
Ooh, it's hard.
like it was a surprise to them.
Yeah.
I just feel like you got a degree of difficulty on that song that was almost impossible.
Living in the memory of a song.
Definitely when I tried it out, I was like, this is going to be so tough, and it's going to be a challenge, and I hope they understand that.
That melody is like,
Yeah, I know it goes fast, it goes low, it goes high, and it's just ridiculous.
I give my all.
they put you on a motorcycle and had you fly over the stage. It
I think
couldn't have
that
been
would've
harder.
That would have been easier.
I don't want to miss a thing. Was that your first choice?
Actually, picking that song was difficult. I was already frazzled with the choices of the judges' pick, of Jimmy's pick. In that moment, I don't think I really took enough time to really look at the songs and pick a great song, but I feel like I could have done better.
Even some of your previous YouTube stuff that we saw, you did a lot of current stuff, a lot of up-tempo stuff that would have said, hello, Jessica is ready to be on the radio today.
Yeah.
I think we got less of that towards the end of the season, and it frustrated me a little bit.
Yeah, no, it frustrated me too.
Means bigger songs and more powerful songs.
He said, you know, that I can't be singing songs that I put on my album. I have to be singing competition songs because we're on American Idol. And I think that's what messed me up. I was paying attention to that way too much. I do sing ballads, but I'm not a balladeer. I'm not the next Celine Dion. In the beginning, I was really trying to show that by singing Turn the Beat Around and all these fast upbeat songs. Towards the end, I was trying to, you know, really show my vocal ability when I did in the beginning anyways.
So let's talk about the finale a little bit. I was, again, a little annoyed that they gave you I Have Nothing because you'd covered Whitney Houston twice. It had already been covered once this season by Shannon. It has been covered like a gajillion times on Idol. Have you watched every season of Idol? So you know how many times I Have Nothing has been covered. Did you say like, are you serious about I Have Nothing? Are you sure?
Yeah, you know, I was a little bit, but it's not my choice. It was Simon Fuller's choice, and you know, all I could do was just try to sing the heck out of it.
You're not going to argue with Simon Fuller, I suppose.
You can't.
The prayer, though, I was so excited that you did not choose to repeat something that you'd done during the live shows, that you went back to Vegas week.
I love the prayer. I thought the whole set was so beautiful. I mean, I had the water around me, everything was captivating, and I felt like I could do that again. The notes where it was just me and one instrument, I think that's what really caught my heart, and that's why I love it so much.
Guidance with your grace.
Change nothing. Feelings about the lyrical content of it. I wish I hadn't told my family and friends that I'm in a bad relationship.
Should have shut my mouth and kept it all to myself.
As you're approaching a post-Idol career and an album, how much do lyrics count to you?
For my song, a lot. If it's gonna be my single, if it's gonna come from me, it means a lot, and I really want to take time and spend time to really, you know, construct something that is completely me and completely cleared by me.
Yeah.
And picking those singles, it was, like I said, a short amount of time, and we didn't get really much input. I mean, we got to choose a song, but they gave us very limited amount of songs, and I think that was the best one out of that. And even when I was listening to them, I was like, well, there's some things we have to change here and this and that. I'm disappointed that, you know, I went out there with that song, but now that it's over, I can really promote myself in a different way, and I'm ready to go into the studio and make songs that I feel comfortable with.
It's pretty clear to anyone who watches Idol that it's not like you had a list of 700 songs to choose from and you picked that. It was probably like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Can't let you go without talking about, to me, the moment where they should have just dumped the confetti. You both were feeding off of each other's energy, and by the end,
were.
it was like, what? At one point, you actually stopped and looked at her like, and then jumped back in.
Yeah.
How many times had you rehearsed that?
One time.
Really?
The day before.
Did you know what was coming? Was it that intense in rehearsal?
It wasn't, because I was losing my voice. Yeah. The whole time during the finale, my voice was pretty much gone. And I don't like telling people these things because I don't want people thinking, you know, she's just having like an excuse and stuff.
No excuses need to be made for that performance.
Yeah.
It's,
Thank you.
I mean,
I'm glad it all came out. And I think just in that moment, it really didn't matter if I had a raspy voice or whatever. I mean, I just sang with that woman. We got in each other's faces, and we were like, we're gonna tell our man that he's not leaving. It was really fun. I loved it.
Her facial expressions are just so theatrical and over the top and crazy. You're gonna pick up a couple of those for post-Idol career?
I'm not sure if I'm gonna use those. Hearing people say like her facial expressions scared them or whatever, I was like, what are you talking about? And then I watched it back and like her facial expressions were very out there.
Yeah.
And even singing with her and her looking at me and like doing those facial expressions, I didn't even notice it. So I was just in that moment too, and I feel like I was turned to the side a little bit so you couldn't really see my face, but I was making pretty ugly faces too, so.